We're live.
I have pressed the button. We are live. There we go. We are live. We are live. Everyone knows from last week what happened. We won't bring it up, but we won't bring it up. We won't bring it up.
No, is it technical difficulty? We'll just
technical
call it
difficulty. Yeah. Yeah, poor old Tez. We was at Echo Live on the Saturday, and I think a few people sort of making a joke about it, or you?
Nah, just take it on the chin.
Did they say hello to you and you waited 26 minutes before?
Yeah, I waited 26 minutes. I was like,
just walked round and replied and a little bit later. Yeah. So welcome to episode 89. Look at that.
89.
11 off 100. We're getting there.
11 weeks.
I worked it out. It's near the end of April, our 100th episode. I worked it out. So I went and looked and counted the other day. So it's end of April. So
who's turn is it?
I didn't get into that much detail, Tez. That's a bit. Right. Okay. We're a bit early yet. So we got a while yet.
Right. We have done more than 89 if you think about all the specials we've done, all the little extras we've done, this and that.
I know. Yeah. All those ones we've done. Yeah. So we have a guest. Michael's here. Michael French. He's here. We've been having a little chat. So he's in the green room having a couple of hors d'oeuvres at the moment. So
hors d'oeuvres, yeah. Oh, yeah, you get
virtual hors d'oeuvres. Virtual, yeah.
We'll see.
He's drank that whole bottle of champagne as well.
I tell you what.
Right, let's see.
Sticking on his tab, I tell you.
Right, I'm going to put who's in the series in the chat. There's quite a few in the chat. So
Des last week.
Des D. Hello, Des.
Good day,
Jace.
Good day, Jace. G-Force. Scott Hughes. Hello, Scott.
Hello, Scotty boy.
Good afternoon.
Miss Stetty's here. Good evening, Miss Stetty. Look at that. Hello. Oh. Chazza. Hello, welcome, Chazza.
Chazilla. Oh,
Chazilla. Oh my God, sorry if I pronounce anyone's name wrong. You know me, terrible. Biker Scout, Biker. How you doing? Oh, Kieran. Oh, hello, Kieran. He's saying hello to everyone.
Kieran.
Hello.
DTM. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave and Helen meeting them last week.
Yeah, I didn't get to speak to Helen on Saturday. I saw her sitting there on the table. I didn't get to say hello. I missed Helen.
She was sitting on a
table. It was a bit. He was there all sitting eating Nando's. Yeah. So I missed out. Yeah.
I've never met anybody, Star Wars couple, so much in love still. There you go.
Well, there you go.
You can just tell, can't you? You can just tell.
It is great when you can bring your other half to go around looking at figures, isn't it? And she, yeah. I think she did go off shopping for a bit though. So, there's Keith. Hi, Keith. I said Keith tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hello, Matt." He was there. Okay, so I had a quick chat. So,
Keith Guppy need though. Really, we've seen his collection. What could he possibly find at Echo?
Yeah, I know.
He bought a few bits. He showed me. Yeah. So he bought. I don't know if he'll say, but he bought a vintage AT-AT in a case. An acrylic case. It was very nice. The sticker sheet was like on the side. It looked very nice. Yeah.
So, he told his wife it was, I reckon he said
she was there. So she saw him buying it all. Yeah. So I think she was encouraging him by the sounds of it. So
awesome.
So he did it was funny because people Des tapped me on my shoulder and I was like, "Oh, right," and I was like, because when you meet someone in the flesh, it's kind of like,
let's Rob. Rob.
I said, "Who are you? Who are you?" This is Des T. You see pictures on Facebook and stuff.
Good evening.
Des T.
Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, in the flesh.
Stephen M. Welcome, Stephen. Look at these people.
It was Commodore 64 fan.
I've had a lot of things about
Joe. Howdy.
Obviously, everyone knows G.i.joe. Everyone knows how tall Matt is, but a lot of people can't believe how tall you are, Tez. I think people have the assumption you're a little bit.
I can't. Yeah, you're not much shorter. You only I couldn't believe how tall Luke was. Luke Reynolds, crikey, what a man he is. He's a beefcake, isn't he? With his beard,
Vintage Dave as well.
All those. Well, weren't we? Was it Tez? We had a picture, don't we? Some lady come up and said she wanted a picture with the ZSR hot babes, wasn't it? Us, the babes of
the babes.
ZSR. Yeah. So we got your brother to stand in as you. So
yeah. Oh, it's great, mate. It was great meeting Si.
Yeah,
he's a lovely bloke, isn't he, Si? He's a lovely bloke.
Yeah, I love it. He had his jumper with Boss on it. I like that. Yeah, very good, very good.
Yeah, spends a fortune on jumpers, Si.
Yeah.
I haven't worn a jumper in about
Poppy's here. Poppy's here. Oh, I'm getting echo, Shabby.
Yeah, why are you getting echo? Have you got YouTube open?
You got headphones on?
No. He's still getting it.
So look. Oh no, that's better. Oh no, it's still there.
Oh, I can hear some...
Hang on, I'll come out and I'll come back in.
Oh wow. You sure you want to say that? But there you go. Okay.
There's no echo now, is there?
No, he's gone. Shabby. There we go. It is Shabby. He doesn't wear the headphones, does he? I keep telling him off. Yeah. Hi, Cameron. Good evening.
Cameron.
Baz is here. Look at all these people in tonight. I'm gonna miss. If I miss anyone, apologise.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
We're gonna get through a few of these, and then we're gonna get Michael in. So,
Tim's here.
Oh, is he? Is he probably further ahead?
Yeah.
Keith, welcome, Keith. Welcome. Oh, this is too much, isn't it? Oh.
Where's Shabby gone? Is he not?
Here he is. Let's try him now.
Huh? Say so much, Shabby.
Hello, it's a happy day. There's no
echo.
Let me speak. Oh, it's still there.
There's something odd going on, isn't there? I haven't got one.
Shall I be quieter?
Oh, I can hear when you talk. I can hear it when you talk.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, echoes when I speak, doesn't it? I don't know what's going on. So,
there's gremlins in the system.
Yeah. Jonathan. Good evening, Jonathan.
Jono.
Oh, Claire's here. Oh, it's happy birthday to Claire.
Happy birthday, Claire. Happy birthday.
Yeah. She's on that. She's going to be playing that new Harry Potter game, I think, isn't she?
She's playing it. She showed me today.
Right.
Sideboard PlayStation 5 and he's lost it now, and Claire's not going to come off that.
Look at that. Beefcake. Yeah, beefcake. He's a beefcake, Reynolds. Yeah. Oh, Tim's here.
Hi,
Tim. Mr. Hayes. Good to see you, Tim.
Yeah. Everyone's saying hi. Oh. Miriam. Hello, Miriam. Hi, Miriam. Crikey. I could be here for a while, Salon. No,
it's like the world's biggest register. Oh, Dave! I'm meeting Dave's. I got to echo and Dave. I've got something for you. A big bag of
He was like Santa Claus. He was giving out
big
gifts.
Bag of rats things, and it was Swedish cracker bread. Magnificent.
Yeah,
Swedish cracker bread.
I was very jealous. He was very jealous. He gave Luke a Rambo figure, Colonel
Houghton.
Yeah, full, not missing a bit. All the weapons.
Oh wow!
Lovely bloke, isn't he?
Lovely. Look at that. He's very lovely.
And Josh behaved himself.
She was very encouraging. Yeah. They always are. They always are. Yeah.
Chippo.
Oh, Chippo. I missed you before.
Good old Chippo.
Gerard's here. Hi, Gerard.
Did someone say I look younger?
But not with that hat. Not with that hat on. You do look like what's the name from Last of Summer Wine? You look a bit. You just need to be leaning up against a little little wall, don't you? With your Wellington boots on. Yeah.
Tri-stone walling. Yeah, I can arrange that.
Hi, Peter. Yeah.
Peter. Will you recognise the echo? Will you recognise?
No.
It was
only by the people we know. So
I didn't recognise Stu when Stu's in the chat and his wife was there. I didn't. You know when you have the penny drops and he's like, "Oh, it's Stu," because you
how you doing, buddy?
Screen.
Cool.
Monkey Toys, boy.
Monkey Boys Toys. Everybody's here. Brilliant.
Yeah, look at this.
Great Friday.
Here to feel good.
Oh, there. And you talk about. There he is. There's Stu. There he is.
It's funny. Stu's
come on, hit that.
He's a small chap.
He's a
Nick's there. Hi, Nick.
Yes, Nick. Nice to meet you last week, Nicholas. Had a nice meal.
APD. Yeah.
Oh, what's that? Look up Carly desk calendars. Oh, Carly.
Oh, Carly.
Yeah.
She still looks good. I saw her at a premiere last week.
Doesn't she?
And she looks great. How old is she? 53, 54. She looks fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I've always been a Kylie. I love Kylie Minogue. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Hi, Jason.
She did just. Have you seen the pictures?
Make it, Jason. You've got us three. So
I've seen the pictures of Madonna. I didn't watch the Grammys, but it's all what has she done?
You just careful what you say, Tez. Just be careful what you say. Okay.
She looks like a spitting image puppet.
We apologise.
Comment reflected on ZSR. He's commented his own.
I love Madonna.
Oh, what an icon! Yeah, what an icon! 84. Well, think about the songs Madonna's made, man.
Is she 84? She's not 84. Oh, from 1984.
There he is. There's the beefcake. There he is. There's the beefcake. Yeah.
There's the beefcake. There he is.
Yeah. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. There was, wasn't me.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've caught up the chat and it's still going. So
no, never catch the chat.
Oh, this Lee. Oh, Lee.
Lee. All right, Lee's here.
How are you, pal?
Got some pickies later.
Yeah, we're going to show his pictures. Show some of his pictures for his
awesome
for his play sets. Yeah.
Can I ask you both a serious question?
Serious?
Yeah,
serious on this channel, here.
It's something on behalf of people in the United States and around the world would like to know.
Yeah.
And you two are the ones to tell us. How orange was Smuggler's Canyon's hoodie?
Very orange. Yeah.
Was it very orange? Was it vibrant orange or?
Yeah, it was a vibrant. Kind of like a life preserver sort of orange.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
It was very orange. The Orange Army.
Lifeguard. Yeah, kind of.
I mean, grey pants. I mean, greys are kind of
and I like to apologise to Christian now. It was nothing to do with me this time. I have nothing to do with it, so you can't blame me, Christian.
I think he wore it just.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that because I thought there's no way you've been getting all this strife for 2 years about grey pants and you turn up in an orange hoodie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. I think we'll get Michael on now. Might as well.
Yeah.
We've been looking forward to having a chat. We haven't had a chat on Michael for ages, have we? So it's been. It was last Iconicon, wasn't it? I think so. Last time we really spoke to him. Yeah.
A while back.
Yeah. Look at that beefcake. Yeah, you are. Yeah, he knows it.
Apparently,
there's no idea what we're talking about.
Right. Okay, Michael. Are you ready? I'll get you on. Here we go. And here he is. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
What's going on, everybody?
Hello, Michael.
Hello.
How you doing?
Not bad. I can't complain. I mean, and if I did, if I did, 100,000 people would listen. So
that's
a weird thing to think. I'm good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it? Well, we say congratulations. You went. I know it's a bit now, but you've gone past 100,000 now, haven't you?
That all happened at the same time. Apparently, people really love Lego, like on a level I didn't know. And then all of a sudden, boom. But it's been a good week working on a new video.
Yeah.
Buying action figures. Just
yeah. So that Galaxy Explorer just pushed you over the edge, did it? Just pushed
you
there.
It was the one right before that. The one about the old vintage castle set, the figure.
Oh, the vintage.
That's a great set. That one.
Yeah. So, still one. I'd love to get one of those.
Yeah, it was weird. It's just a little set of figures in a pull cart, and I did a video about it with my own twisted sense of point of view. And suddenly that video went boom, and I was like, "What is going on?" And next thing I knew, there I was. So
maybe we should all do Lego videos.
I know, right?
I've done
and
some.
I did the Galaxy Explorer video, and people were like, "That's nice," and I'm like, "Okay,
that's nice."
Whatever.
I did a video because I picked up the new one. So just picked it up because this you had to spend like £200 on Lego, but I just got it on eBay for about 35 quid. So
it doesn't make any sense why they cost so much when they're not really giving you all that.
Are they still calling it Blacktron? Is it
still it's still Blacktron. Yeah, just I didn't like these bits. I think that they sort of copped out here. They should have had the original. The original pieces were just like one piece. So, but that's sort of But otherwise, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks like the original stuff. I mean, it's that Galaxy Explorer was no joke. I mean, that new Galaxy Explorer is a really nice vehicle. Like,
I got it for Christmas. So that was I think I did it in about 4 hours or something. I really went for it, that one.
It's cool when it's finished.
It wasn't that expensive, that one either, was it? What was it?
Yeah, because I got a little bounty hunter. Yeah, you've seen that one. Right? Yeah, those baggy ones.
The Galaxy Explorer here in the States was going at Walmart for $75.
Yeah,
and it is easily worth every penny at that price. Like, it's a really nice set. So
I thought that about that BD1 that I got for Christmas. I thought, what a great. I mean, that thing is for $100. It was great.
Did you put the lights in that yet, Shabby?
No, I can't do it. I can't. Honestly, and the worst thing I said, in part 2, I'll do it. I'm not.
You're not done it, yeah. When you promise something on a video and like, I've got to see it through now. And then
it was the thing where it's like a wire. You just put it in and you press, and it's not. It's all like cables and this and that. And I was like, oh man, how am I supposed to do this?
Yeah, you've regretted buying the lights now, haven't you? I guess.
I bought Melinda the Home Alone house for Christmas. Lego.
Oh, wow!
And I got the lighting kit for it with the sounds and everything from Game of Bricks.
Yeah.
And she built the thing over like 3 nights, the house. And then I went back in and forensically used their instructions to put the lighting system in. And that took me an entire 2 evenings to do. Like, once you light that thing up, it's like, okay, that was all worth it. It's so cool.
Talking about Melinda, did she have a nice birthday?
Yes,
she did. She did. She did.
Good.
She's now in the office working her day job until 5 o'clock. So I'm sure I'll make sure to tell her that she needs to catch this on the replay.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Melinda.
Oh yeah, happy birthday. Yeah. I did see a picture today, I think, with your 3 cats and a desk. I think. Yeah.
When you move a piece of furniture to another part of the house, the cats act like it's a new theme park, and they're like,
they've got to get in the drawers and sit in things. Yeah, they like sitting in things. Yeah.
Silly fur balls. Yeah.
Tim's here. Hi, Tim.
There's quite a few people here. I'm just constantly.
Oh wow! Usual Mike is here. Wow.
Yeah, he's up early.
He's up.
7:00.
Yeah. Ready for day.
Good day.
Keep Strong's here. Keep Strong's here. Keep Strong. Yeah, we didn't really have a plan what we were going to say, Michael. We just thought we have on just a general chat, really. See how we are, because we've got no like hard what do you call it? Questions
format.
Really.
Format, well, I've got something to ask you, if that's all right. This year, I'm going to Joe Fest this year. I'm coming to Joe Fest.
Really?
Right. So I'm coming to Joe Fest. But I'd like to know what it's about, because I talked to Scuba about it. And so it's not just, it's not just G.I.joe. There's still a few things there. Can you tell me a bit about Joe Fest, Mike?
Yes. Joe Fest is it's a good sized toy show. Its focus tends to be like, it's a place where G.I.joe and military toy line fans can congregate. But what it really is it ends up being a great both vintage and modern toy sales, like opportunity to find things from vendors that you might not be able to find in your local area. But they have a great mix of vintage and modern. They also have an art show there. Like there's pop culture artists that do their stuff. And then like there's a guy there every year who comes with custom painted Stormtrooper and Imperial helmets. And he sells those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And like I don't know if you saw the video I did a few years ago when I found that G.I.joe plane that was all chrome. It was chrome. That's a custom from a guy who's one of the, he's like a customizer artist vendor who's there. So like last year when I was there, he had done another chrome piece, which was the Phantom Jet from G.I.joe. He always does them as one-offs. So then I always try to get there early and snake them from everybody else who wants them. because he only does the one. So I bought that, but it's a good show, and like you'll see things there that are pretty crazy. Like 2 Joe Fests ago, I saw this rare European Tiger Force Tiger Sting Vamp Jeep. And apparently it wasn't like the normal retail version. It was a European mail away that you never see. Boxed aircraft carriers, a ton of modern like Marvel Legends and Black Series, a lot of vintage Star Wars, a lot of Masters of the Universe, and anything you can really think of. There were vendors there that had, just peg racks full of, carded figures from various lines and from, the late 80s to the early 90s. And, you got bins you go through where they've got bagged Silverhawks and Thundercats and Centurions. And so everything is there. It's a good selection. Yeah.
Well, Silla just made a point there. Me and G-Force going to drive down to it, and I said I'd like to buy a Valaverse figure there. I've never got one. I've seen the videos, ones that Connor makes, and an analog and so. And I thought I always like to go to these places and buy a certain thing that like a memory of where it was.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go there and have a look at that. But yeah, a lot of people say it's now Valaverse Con because he's done so well. And
Yeah, the joke is that his booth is the biggest and the most heavily trafficked at the start of the show. So, like, they all joke that it's now Valicon, which is hilarious, but yet at the same time kind of appropriate because he is like Marauders Task Force is there, and they've always got their stuff, and I usually end up buying a few things from them as well.
Are they the ones that do the 3/4-inch army ones that you can build yourself? I remember your videos on that.
And they always have Joe Fest exclusive pre-built recipes, as they call them. So you could, like, when I was there 2 years ago, they did an October Guard of Dana, the female Russian character from G.I.joe, as like an homage figure, from out of Marauders parts. And so they're a presence there. But Marauders is there, Valaverse is there. There are also some other independent toy groups that are there, like the people who are doing Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. They had a booth last year. Like it's a good show. It's a good show.
Yeah, I can't wait. And does it gets really busy, doesn't it, Mike?
Yeah, it gets busy, but it's not like say, how would I describe it? I don't know how big Echo was this past weekend, so I'm not.
Oh, it was terrible. It was so busy. I've never seen it that busy.
Yeah.
What's the general, like?
It's
square meter of the.
Oh my! I wouldn't like to say it's a shop. It's an abandoned shop. We've got like Wilkinson's over here and B&M, and it's, I would say, what would you say? It's same thing as like Woolworths, because I'm trying to think of when Mike still lived in the UK. You do you remember Woolworths? Sort of a fairly big shop. It's like an abandoned. They use one of those it's in a big super and a big shopping mall.
Yeah, it's all on one level,
and they're able to fill it.
Yeah, and they fill
shoulder to shoulder in there, isn't it?
Table. A lot of it's pretty good for anything Star Wars, really.
Okay, so I would say that the Joe Fest floor plan is probably somewhat comparable to that. Like I would err on the side of it being a little smaller. Like if I had to guess,
like a basketball size sort of plate, like an area. Basketball
that's a very accurate description. But it's filled with great vendors.
Is it something you search for every time you go? So before you go to Joe Fest, is it something you think, right, I'm going to look for that this year, or do you just wait and get to see what's there?
Like the first year that I went, I was looking for just a normal Conquest jet because I didn't have one for my G.I.joe collection, and I ended up buying two: the Python Patrol one and a normal one from the same guy. And then as I was walking out with those, I happened to look in another room, which they're now in a new venue where everything's in one room. But I happened to look in another room and I saw this guy selling these beautiful chromed vehicles, and one of them was the Conquest. I ended up with 3 Conquests from that show, intending to buy one. But
it rains, it pours.
Yeah, last year when I went, I was actually looking for just a Silverhawk. I was looking for the vintage Hot Wing Silverhawk in a good condition. I didn't find it. I ended up instead buying G.I. Joe Slugger, and I bought 2 Sluggers because I parted them together. And then there was another thing I bought. I can't remember what it was. And then I also picked up an artisan piece. It was a guy who had done Lara Croft, but he'd done her out of multicolored pipe cleaners. And so,
wow.
She's like Lara Croft, and she's got the pistols and everything, but she's like, skin colored pipe cleaners with brown pipe cleaners. With it's pretty different.
Yeah, really
wow.
Yeah.
No, I still don't own it. I still own a Valaverse figure myself, but I always wanted to go for the baddie, which is it the Swarm? The Swarm guys, the yellow. That's what I'd probably start off with, one of those.
That's really attractive.
I think they're hard to get over here now. I think they're quite hard to find.
So, well,
for me.
Sorry, Shaggy,
I was going to say, I wonder if Bobby will sign it for me. Do you reckon he will?
Oh yeah, he will.
Too shabby for yeah, that'd be cool because, like I said, it'd be nice to have it in your display. Do you know what I mean? A bigger from Valaverse at Joe Fair.
Yeah,
I think he does a lot.
To make memories of my toys. I always like it. I look at sometimes toys as albums. You'll see a piece in your
a classic album.
Yeah, so I'd like to do something like that.
So and now, right now, Matt, you can get the Swarm figure again because they've re-released it in the Deployment Series wave that came out right around the end of the year.
All right, okay.
And the great part about that is that tiny factory error that plagued the Swarm figures in Wave 1 has already it's been corrected. So even though most of the Swarm figures ended up just fine in Wave 1, they really are now like turnkey right out of the box. So it's a good time to get a Swarm figure if you want one.
That's what I wanted to start with because I'm not really deep into like military figures. I like my fantasy. I do like Star Wars, but I got the latest War Duke from the dreaded NECA. But, it's okay. It's not falling apart yet.
So it's not snapping apart like the Dungeons and Dragons figures from Hasbro are.
No. It's a bit more.
I've just got a couple of boxes of those Dungeons and Dragons down there. They haven't opened them yet. I hope it's not as bad as.
Do they raffle?
Should get them out.
But dude, Shabby, I would just take some X-ray photos of them and then like I mean, or make sure you post photos when they like NECA apart. So
they do look nice, but a lot of people have had issues. Here we go. That's a class one, isn't it?
It's just
make
these.
Big, Matt, make yourself big.
These are just very, very, very delicate. I was like, when I took it out of the box, I was actually. Oh, hello. Okay.
So,
those are like you can see how thin they are. Look, that's so.
It's got like a nice iridescent blue sheen to it as well.
That goes off the floor. That goes off a shelf. You've had it. So that's the
it's like ornaments. I've always said
that's really nice as well. Just looks all right. It was all right. I mean, people say you have to warm them up, but I went in a bit cold turkey and it was okay. But I was very, very gingerly taken out of the box, very carefully. But I'm glad I got it. It's like one of my favorite because I've got the original as a kid. So it just harks back. More nostalgia.
The only issue I have with these Dungeons and Dragons is when I saw the Avenger. I mean, I watched the video of it. Obviously, but that plastic skirt, to me, does that mean he's not going to get his black horse? Because I can't think of one episode I've seen Avenger without that horse. And so I'm like, I'm only getting half of that.
Maybe they'll do a custom kit. They can pop in.
I don't know. I hope they do.
Mr. Travis.
Toyorama, hold on a moment, duty. All right, okay. All right, okay.
Oh.
So Michael, do you still sort of collect? What do you still collect then? I know you sort of not. What figures do you still actually collect?
So I just picked up several. So let's see. So of all things, here we go. You're gonna hear something fall over. Okay.
No.
I picked this up because I thought I might be able to use the head for a Lara Croft custom, but then I realized it might not be compatible. But it's still an okay figure. I say okay. It's one of those ones that Hasbro really skimped out on the articulation on, and that's the Kate Bishop figure from Hawkeye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's not a bad looking figure. It just it can't do much. And I just thought maybe I could use the head.
The head, I can see a little cross thing going on there.
Yeah. I got this was from a friend. I thought I'd missed out on this, and then he found it at a discount store. Was the 90s comic Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah. Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I always loved Black Widow from that era. And then I was at a model kit shop, of all places, and I didn't know they had started selling a small selection of action figures, and I found the expanded universe Princess Leia. And
nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then lastly, I got my Mara Jade. Plastic-free packaging, so thankfully I bought 2. So, but so there she is. Right
there we go. Yeah. So still buying a few Hasbro figures. So
I have a few. I still have a few on pre-order and a few that I know that they are announcing. But I have thought about once I get my Outback Rogue, once I get Outback Rogue might be the only outstanding existing pre-order, but they have said they're going to redo Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and Captain America. And it's once I get those 2. And possibly, I haven't decided, possibly the 3 Spider-Man No Way Home set. Once I get those, I don't know if I want to keep paying the freight on Hasbro's increasing prices.
So expensive. It's getting ridiculous. It really is,
Yeah, and I've also been not to bring everybody down, but objectively, I've been really disappointed with the corners they've been cutting lately on the Origins line. So like they've just stopped trying to recreate the gimmicks on the figures, and instead they just like Mecha Neck. It's like, here, we've given you like a big ball joint neck extension, and it's like
it doesn't.
I've got to admit, because me and Lucy got it, and we got it last week, and I've seen the videos of the neck, but it's a bit thick and it doesn't look right. So I think when I display it, I won't display it with them.
So those gimmicks are really, really important to each individual figure. You know,
well, it's the same as it's called the Grand Rip. It's the Road Ripper. We know that, but that is iconic with the ripcord. It's and it's heavy, and it's funny. As soon as I got this,
has it not got the ripcord either?
No ripcord in it. So
there's no. Ooh.
It doesn't do that, which I have the vintage figure as well, and I was really appreciating the way the Origins figures were recreating the gimmicks. And now all of a sudden they're like they've got the Snake Men coming out.
Oh yeah,
and Ratlore with the neck. He also just has an extension that you then slap the head back on. It doesn't jump out anymore. Tongue Lashore. He's now just got like a rubbery tongue that you slam in his face if you want to. There's
which is weird because when they first started to come, the Ram Man was such a good upgrade. The Ram Man still you press it down, and it
had more articulation as well.
It's awesome, you know.
Got me original one. Yeah, does it still work? There we go.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's what
they're not going to do that now. They're like I was really thinking that they were going to keep this going when I saw the way they did the Snout Spout figure, because they still give you a stimulation of a workable water gun version of the head with a rubbery backpack that you can squeeze, but it's still allowing you to do that feature, right? Well, now they've just abandoned all ambition. And it's just kind of like, we're just gonna fudge it. Like it's
I mean the swivel thing I wasn't really that concerned about myself. When people saying, do they still swivel, Shabby? And I was like, well, that but the gimmicks do need to be there. But they need to, I think they need to make it with everything. It's like you'll get Mantenna and the eyes will still come out, or Rama. But you need to do that with, like, for example, Cobra Khan. You still need to push it. So instead of just having that water.
I suppose you kind of those gimmicks are the kids are attracted to those stuff. So if you take those away, that you've lost that. Maybe that
and this is Origins was for for example, you know, I'm in my 40s and I collect them because of nostalgia, but our Lucy loves them. So I mean, kids are still getting them as well.
It's a real letdown, because I'm gonna keep collecting just the figures that are on parity with the vintage line. Even though they've like Cobra Khan was a huge disappointment. I was looking forward to having that spray, the spray head, because he was one of my favorite figures growing up, which I still have a vintage one, but it's technically my brother's. So I was hoping. So it's like I'm still gonna, but I have pared back. Like I'm not going after any of the reimagined characters. I won't go after the Sunman stuff now because of the corners they've been cutting across the line. And it's like I'll get the Snake Men. I'll get the what's it called? When they finally bring out Modulok and Too Bad and those guys, I'll finally get those. And once if they ever do Rio Blast,
that's the one I'd
that's my favorite thing.
It's the only one I want to Joe Fest. You probably will, but it's like for me, I just wanted them all Origins, and now Origins has kind of let me down. So, but like the only figure, if they do it, and they haven't announced it, but if they make a Queen Marlena, I will also make sure to get that. But they haven't done any of the Princess of Power stuff either. Like aside from She-Ra.
That's it.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, would you want her in a spacesuit, or you want her in a sort of both? Would you want her?
I mean, you know, when they made King Randor for the vintage line, he was kind of armored up. You know, so if they want to put some kind of spin on that, like
2-pack,
I'd be fine with that, just to have a vintagey Queen Marlena. You know, But I've got King Randor, so I mean, if the line ends tomorrow, I've got the most important figure. So
I think he is one of the hardest to get now, and everyone's buying him. I try to get.
I can't find him.
I try to get Pighead on his own. That's just intrigued me, that one. It was like because he's different, but can't find it anywhere over here. It's
figure that Pighead as well. But like I said, I was one of the things for me, just to go back to it, was Rio Blast. I thought if they do this in Origin, but the way the gimmicks are going, I'm not sure whether they'll put their, in his thighs and in his hands, and the big, we'll just see. Cyclone, I'd like to come back. Cyclone would be awesome, but again, he needs that gimmick. He has to be able to spin around and
or like the Rockmen,
the Rockmen,
I don't know what they're gonna do with those characters. Like if they just make Modulok like a crab monster that you can't take apart, then what's the point?
That's a good point.
No, I'm disappointed. I see a lot of people disappointed at the moment. No, Shabby keeps on. You'll keep on collecting, won't you, Shabby?
I love. I mean, there was two things for me. It was always Star Wars. It was always Motu, and so when they. But this, in a way, this is something I've shared with my daughter. She, and that's what spurred me on to get as much. Like I said, all this behind me is because. And the nicest thing is, I suppose the same as Star Wars Retro Collection, the old figures fit in really nice with the new ones. So it's like, it's flawless the way they all look together. But I will be honest, it is getting a bit like, the Mechanex neck wasn't good to me. It was like, and then making Grislaw an exclusive, which was a creation, which I thought that's a bit strange. He was the same as basically Mossman or Leech. Everybody had that.
Right,
and you already did it with the dark face before, so why do it again? But I thought, I've got Frogmonger coming. I've got the camo car. The head on that is really nice, but again, no gimmick. So,
I didn't even try for Frogmonger. I was just, not that I didn't like the figure. I was just like, I don't want to get in another rat race with a character that they're kind of like inventing while characters like Mossman are still AWOL. Like it's like
Mossman.
Right. So you sit there and obviously you're refreshing, and but the anxiety over getting an $18 figure, that shouldn't be right in a way. Because don't get me wrong,
losing your hair.
Well, it's exciting because I got it. But would it have been that excited if I didn't get it? I remember doing the same thing for Koldar, and that was gone. So I thought, I don't know why they just don't go back to that made-to-order thing like they did with that Grislaw. Give you some people and on the East Coast as well, it was 12 p.m. afternoon on a Tuesday. Everyone's at work.
Yeah.
You got to be on your toes with that, those sort of drop dates, haven't you?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, hurry up.
Like they want you to be more loyal to their pre-orders than your own career.
Yeah.
You want this?
But would you say
Hasbro?
Would you say Mattel is doing better than Hasbro at the moment?
Mattel's definitely doing better than Hasbro, but they need to take stock of themselves, because it's like, guys, you have the benefit right now of being in a better PR position than Hasbro with your consumer base and with the financial markets, but you better be careful, because you don't want to be chasing Hasbro right now. Like, Bank of America has stated twice now on national financial news. They have since come out this past week with another one where they said Hasbro has squandered the long-term viability of its brands for short-term profit. In other words, they have scorched earth brands that were golden geese. And they're like, stock price is now slashed by like 30%. Like, it's crazy. So
I mean, look at the time. Listen, I've always said collecting is a selfish thing. Majority of houses, it's usually you have a family and it's you that collects. Your wife doesn't, your kids don't know. So it's always about yourself. So it's very, very difficult when you get some money to spend an absolute fortune on stuff just for you, especially in this time. Look how much shopping is at the moment, and look how much your bills in England are at the moment. They've gone through the roof,
Yeah.
So and I think that's what it is. There used to be a time, like, I'll go back to Black Series. They'd come out a wave of 4 for $20. You'd buy the 4. So you think, oh yeah, I've got $80. That now it's like you can't get one for like 37, 38. So we tax, you're looking at $40.
It's over 100, isn't it? It's over 100.
So what that does is you can see it subconsciously. I'll collect. I've always collected Black Series, but it changes the way you collect. So what I'm doing now is I'm thinking, oh, this figure's come out. Yeah, pre-order it now, Shabby. No, I think I'll wait a year till I see it on Amazon for $11 or $12. There's nothing that entices me anymore for, exactly. And Jar Jar Binks did it. Do you not remember the Jar Jar Binks Deluxe? Nearly $40, and then about 2 months after, it's in Ollie's for $12.99. I was like,
That's still a good figure. That one.
It's a good figure. Yeah, it's a
very good figure.
Yeah, but it's the pack. I mean, I'm like I said, when it comes to my Black Series, the majority of them, I'm an inbox collector, and these new boxes are like made of tissue paper. You're thinking this ain't gonna last too. So you can see without, you don't even have to be in, the know really to see how cheap these things are getting, how the quality's getting, but the prices are. So it's just basically gone like that.
Yeah, it's like the Transformers Legacy packaging. I mean, they're getting posted and delivered, and they're also the packaging's so flimsy, and people are going around nicking heads out of Target. They're taking the heads off, and I mean, Transformers should be open to Transformers.
Good one,
right? Yeah,
but yeah,
that open window on those windowless Transformers is a dumb idea.
Yeah. Lots of heads being removed.
This was when we were kids. Like, if we went into the shops when we were kids and you saw the wall full of stores, but you couldn't see any of them, they were all behind boxes.
Yeah,
you pick a figure up and you look at it in the store. Oh yeah, look at this, and all that. Whether you want it or not.
I've completely stopped now. I didn't think that I would actually stop collecting Black Series. It's a shame. It's a shame. I really look.
Well, you've got Hot Toys, Matthew. Hot Toys.
I've gone from buying. Just the windows. Putting those windowless boxes just destroyed it for me. So I just don't want to buy them anymore, and I'll buy them if I see them cheap. But
apart from the Droid, you still buy Droids, so you still buy the Droid Black Series.
Yeah, I'm going to buy. I want to buy Ned B, but he's like 30-something quid every year, which is crazy.
Did you say you'd moved on to Hot Toys?
Yes, Michael. Yeah, I've got 10 now.
More money than France.
10. Yeah, they're very nice. Though.
Actually, I've got more than 10. I've got 12.
You can't even remember.
I bought one last Saturday, but it was very cheap. I got it for a bargain, 140.
You do get, you do get some nice ones.
I've been doing since I started collecting. I've been doing little videos now, like each week, what you can find on eBay for like less than 200.
I'm just not sure if the pain I'm feeling right now is my wallet or my prostate. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. You think that when you buy a whole wave of Black Series now, it's like nearly the same price as a Hot Toy. So
it's the same price as a Hot Toy. You know what I mean?
But isn't that where we say we weren't buying Hot Toys because they were ridiculous price, but now that Black Series is the same ridiculous price, we now feel justified to buy Hot Toys at the ridiculous price. Like, so I was at an event. This was probably 10 years ago now, and it was Dragon Con here in Atlanta, and there was a guy doing a panel on toys, vintage toys of the 80s. And the first thing he said when it started was, I don't collect vintage toys because they're too expensive. And then I went up to him afterwards and I said, what do you collect? Clearly you're into toys because you just did a whole presentation on vintage toys.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, I collect Hot Toys. And I'm going, wait, it's not that it's too expensive to collect vintage. You have tapped out and bankrupted yourself collecting Hot Toys. Don't lie to the audience. Don't tell them, like, don't give vintage toys a bad rep because you can't properly manage your money. Like,
Good point.
I
just think Hot Toys, right? Hot Toys, you buy them and they're that good. They force you to get them out of the box and display them. Look like your Hasbro, your Black Series. A lot of us are box collector. Shabby's a box collector, but the Hot Toys are that good. It's just kind of like you cannot leave it in the box.
You can't leave.
I agree.
So,
but also they have the problems of the silicone skin, so like you can't actually keep them posed for very long unless you want permanent wrinkles in so if you really want to keep them minty, you have to then lay them back down in their sarcophagi.
I've been lucky. I've only been buying Troopers at the moment. I've got the Leia Endor, which is the only one
at the moment.
I've got the Leia Endor is the only one I've got, which is like the rest of Troopers and droids. So I'm sort of cheating a little bit, but I know what you're saying because everything degrades because they're like, especially like they make the boots out of like pleather and fake stuff that's going to crack, and so you're just like,
remember those hyperreels did it? That Luke on
the hyperreel Vader was like people posed it, and like a few weeks later it was starting to split.
It was all splitting,
they were a bad design by Hasbro. That was a bad step.
Somebody sent me the hyperreal Luke.
Oh,
I've kept it in the box. I've never touched it. I've never opened it. I've never unsealed it. I'm just like, you know what? I could tell immediately when they announced those. I was like, that is a degrading action figure right there. That won't last 5 years. Like that. No.
I know we all thought it was going to be the cloth costume on Dagobah, but it was all rubber, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like,
I'm just going to throw I don't know whether you can hear it. My little dog is here and he's crying like mad. So I'm just going to throw my dog out. I'll only be a sec.
Throw him out by the window.
Take the nut out.
Thank you, thanks, Shabby.
When you open a Hot Toy, does you get like a crescendo of angels? Hallelujah.
No, you don't get anything like that. No, you just get a nice cardboard inlay. The cardboard inlay on the top. So it's sort of saying, do you really want to take this out? Because you could just look at the picture if you want to.
Yeah. So when you open a Black Series windowless package, you get the whoopee cushion sound.
Well, because they're like wrapped in paper, aren't they? And you don't know what you're going to get in there. So it's scary, isn't it? So but I was I keep buying them. I'm trying to stop, but other people I know now, especially like Gianni and people that have got Hot Toys, keep pushing you. Let's get this.
Well, I'd be always tempted by the. I mean, I'm not that into my movie accurate Transformers, the Bayverse, but some of those Optimus Primes and the Hot Toys Soundwave, they look fantastic.
Yeah, would you buy a Carly Hot Toy, Michael? I guess you'd be tempted, would you?
That would be the only thing that would tempt me.
Lara Croft, Lara Croft as well.
That or a Lara Croft would tempt me, but it would have to be a classic core design. I don't mean it has to look like the polygons, but I mean like the outfit, the look, everything has to look like OG Lara Croft. Kind of the same way that I prefer buying Raiders of the Lost Ark style Indiana Jones and not ones from like maybe Temple of Doom, but otherwise not so much. Lara Croft or a Kylie Minogue Hot Toys, which is probably too sweet to hope for. Don't get my hopes up about things that won't happen.
Yeah. I'm
surprised no one out there has made like a unofficial one. Do you know what I mean? Because there's always people.
A Michael French toy. There you go.
When you say an official one, do you mean an official Kylie thing?
Well, unofficial, because there's and the people make loads of different ones.
There are unofficial Lara Crofts from the latest trilogy of games, so they're not classic in any way, but they are unofficial Hot Toys grade Lara Crofts with all the gear and all the climbing axes and the coat and the belts and the CB radios and she because she looks like she's in the movie Cliffhanger half the time in these new games. So yeah.
Need those super chats.
What's your favorite edition? Is it like the original or the more modern games? Or
my favorite is that very first story that I played in '96, and then I liked the anniversary remake of the game. And
it was good.
Is that the one on the island, the remake? Because I loved that.
I love the remake. Is one of my top. The 2013 remake is a really fun game, and I really liked that one a lot too. I like the majority of those games. There's only like 3 that I don't really like, but yeah, my ultimate favorite is that Atlantis story. That whole, it's almost like she had Toblerone boobs because the graphics.
Kind of woman.
So, but the story was so well done. Like the story was Raiders of the Lost Ark choice, you know?
Yeah, very good.
Well,
I was playing the original. It's probably last year, playing the original Tomb Raider on the original PS1, and you got to sort of remember that was a benchmark moment when that it's dated now, but when that T-Rex comes bounding around the corner, that was a benchmark moment in video games, because it was just. I think the first Tomb Raider, the atmosphere of being alone, I don't think any other game has ever recreated that. It was like you're alone and I'm in this world. Yeah. Fantastic.
It's great. And I mean, my sickness for all of that you've just brought up is personified by the artwork that I had commissioned that takes 1996 Kylie and makes her Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
there's a comment here. Orlando is saying, "Who is Kylie?" I mean, look at that. Who is Kylie?
Kylie Minogue.
Come on, Orlando.
Legend.
Oh, wow.
I can't sum up who Kylie is in one live stream, regardless of it
an
being
Australian goddess. Could you say that?
She is the greatest pop singer of all time. Like,
why do you think she never made it massive? I mean, people know who she is here, but why do you not think she made it? Because everywhere else, Kylie's like everyone knows Kylie. But...
Look, the joke that I have is like, you remember the scene in Jurassic Park where the famous T-Rex paddock sequence where Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm are sitting in the Jeep, and he's like, "Don't move. It's vision's based on movement." I swear that America is like a T-Rex. It's like, except instead of movement, it's Kylie Minogue. Like the T-Rex that is America can't see Kylie Minogue. Like,
it's weird. She'd be over here, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Scuba's on. Mr. Scuba.
Well, people a lot of people. They associate it with the Street Fighter. Where she played Cammy as Street Fighter in the movie, and she's done some great movies. Delinquents.
Delinquents is good.
Remember that?
I just watched that with Melinda for the first time a few weeks ago, and because Tony from Analog Toys, he was able to get me the DVD from Australia and send it to me, because you can't really get it over here.
Oh, bacon!
And I watched it, and I immediately, as soon as she punched that old lady in the face, I was like, I'm clipping that for my future videos, and I've got this clip of her just clocking this old lady that I'm going to use as much as possible. Yeah.
I don't know. Will she be Kylie, or will she always be Charlene Mitchell to me and you, Tez? I don't know. You know what I mean?
The green.
I know. I think since she left Neighbours, it was always
Charlene. I think she was called Charlene though for years. What do you have to? You know
Charlene,
what I mean?
Yeah.
She left it,
and it's just like she's with the times. When dance music and rave music was in the 90s, she adapted to that, and then the Nick Cave and the Lightning Seeds, that sort of era as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You ever seen those?
Madonna.
You ever seen those? I did that when the whole Madonna photos were going around earlier this week. Every time I saw someone post that, I just grabbed my photograph of Kylie from her 2023 calendar, and I was like, "This is Kylie in 2023." Just let you know.
Natural.
I feel like have you ever been on a message board where somebody posts something and then somebody else posts like a GIF or a meme from the old 60s Spider-Man cartoon, and then someone else does it and someone else does it, and then finally someone says, "This is now a Spider-Man thread." Like, I don't want to kill your audience's like buzz by saying this is now a Kylie Minogue stream, although that would kick ass.
I bet she's a lot nicer than Madonna.
So I've been. I could say this now because Jen's not in, because I've been up till about 2-3 o'clock in the morning playing that Modern Warfare 2. Have you been playing that the new Modern Warfare?
No.
It's so good.
I think Josh is. I don't know.
Josh has been playing it. Yeah. I wanted to change some. I always play FIFA constantly, so I thought I'll play that.
Did you start swearing? Shabby, at people on the screen?
Though, because they're all like SAS guys, and it's the Brits and the Americans. And you start to feel it yourself. You're like, let's get it.
Shabby, can you get that on the Spectrum?
On the Spectrum. I'm not sure.
What were you playing the other day, Taz, on the Spectrum? I was like, Days of Thunder. Was that?
Days of Thunder. Well, I played Top Gun. I thought, is there any of the Tom Cruise games out there? And it's Days of Thunder. No, it was.
Yeah, it was very exciting, Taz. Very exciting. I watched it for all of 10 seconds, Taz. All of 10.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Have you seen or read those stories about the programmers who? They're constantly trying to adapt the original Doom to any device they can to run.
There's a post pregnancy test and
so like I'm sure somebody has done a Spectrum ZX version of Doom.
Oh no, there is. There's quite a few.
People trying to do it so they could work on a calculator or something. Was it a calculator or something?
Calculator. One of those posh toasters with the digital readout of the screen. Someone comes like a digital pregnancy test.
Yeah.
Can
you play Doom on a pregnancy test? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
He's terrible. He's terrible at dying and crashing, Taz. He's very good at.
I never knew there was a Brave Star game. I saw your advertisement.
I saw Luke's Brave Star video on Sunday, and I thought, I've got that. I remember enjoying that. It's loose. I think it was a game with the space cowboy, and they'd be like, let's make it Brave Star and put the name on it.
Right.
We used to do that a lot.
I'm going to change the subject completely different now, because I'm going to ask Michael another question now. Michael, how does one go about learning to use a whip? Because you seem to be rather handy with one recently. So
okay. The shortest version of this story is that obviously I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark as a kid.
Yeah. Was
immediately obsessed with how cool the character was. And I'm the kind of person who, if I'm really fascinated by something, I kind of want to have a firsthand experience with it, whether it's flying in a Spitfire or, whatever. I want to know what it's like to drive a DeLorean, all that kind of stuff. So, as a kid, I was like, I really want to learn how to use a bullwhip. Right. And the funny part is that my grandfather, because we lived in the Southern United States in the 80s, my grandfather he'd already given me exposure to revolvers and things like that. So I already had that kind of experience, right? Well, I never expected that my granddad would find out. He didn't watch modern movies. He watched John Wayne. So, but he found out that I loved this movie where this guy wore a broad brim hat and used this bullwhip and carried a revolver. And he was like, well, he didn't say this to me, but he grew up on a farm when he was born in 1919. So he learned how to use a bullwhip. And so he watched the sequence in Cairo after he throws Marion into the hay cart, and then he brings the whip out and he starts going. And he said, oh, yeah. And so it was several years after that, because it wasn't an immediate, like I was still like 8 or 7 or 8. I was too young to be able to do that. So on Christmas of 1994, I think it was either 94 or 95, we all went down to his house for Christmas, and he gave me my first bullwhip for Christmas.
Cool.
And, yeah, and then he took me out in the front yard of his house, and I mean, he was in his 70s, and there he was doing the Harrison Ford thing from that scene. And then I was like, well, how do I do that? And he goes, well, I can show you how I'm doing it, but you just need to watch my arms real carefully. And I'm like, oh God, so I beat myself up for several months. And then you slowly start to pick it up and realize what you need to do it right, like riding a bike. And then you learn certain things, like you don't treat it like a towel, because when a towel comes back on you after you do that, it's terry cloth. If you pull a whip back into your face, that's bad. Right? So,
that's the scar.
So it was kind of like learning that way. And then over the years, I picked up, once the internet hit, I was able to pick up tips and tricks from other people who had beaten themselves up trying to learn. And and then you just kind of figure it out. And so I've been like, I just got it wasn't a toy, so I didn't bring it up. I just got right here. I can reach right over here and grab it. One of the things that I've been fascinated by over the years is the development of nylon paracord whips, because a real whip, obviously people know this already, unless you're just really dim, a real whip will not hold your weight if you use it to swing across a thing. It will either permanently damage it and you make it, or it will stretch. It will always stretch it and break. And a real whip, once you've jumped in a river or something like that, you're going to have to do all kinds of maintenance on it just to hope it survives, because it's a leather whip, right? So the Indiana Jones whip, like the Zorro whip, is magic, right? It's kind of a magical item until now. Because over the last 20 years, I have followed the development of using paracord instead of leather, right? And they first they were kind of like good effort, but not so much. Like it was, I've had 5, but then I found a guy in Poland who they had gotten them aesthetically close, but they always felt too light, like you were throwing a jump rope around. Whips have heft, like they have kind of a heft and a momentum and a real good bullwhips, right? So I found this guy in Poland named Tomek, who was dedicated to the paracord whip, and he has learned how to weight it properly internally, so that it actually feels correct. The thing also benefit is, paracord obviously is to help you in a parachute when you jump out of a plane. So paracord is extremely strong. You can swing on it without damaging the whip if you really wanted to risk your life over a height. I wouldn't. And then don't do that, kids. Just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
I was thinking of it.
And the other thing, the really important thing about paracord that's so appealing, it requires next to no maintenance. Like you can jump in a river and come right back out, and that whip is just fine. Like there's no problem. So I ordered one from him to spec and everything like that, and he sent it. I haven't even tried it yet, but I'm so excited to try it once it gets a little warmer outside.
Oh, I'm gonna make you big.
Just like the Indiana Jones whip. Like
oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Look at that.
It's all paracord. It's not leather.
Wow.
So,
it's weighted as well. And
they put weight in the pommels. They put weight in the pommels or something.
Yeah, there's weight in the pommel, and then there's weight through here. So like the easiest thing, the coolest thing about this is that these paracord whips are like a quarter of the price of a leather whip of the same quality.
Okay.
Because you're not having to pay for all of that expensive material on top of the time and everything. So I can't wait to try this out. This is going to
roughly how much is it? How much is it? I know nothing about whips.
You want to know how much a whip is?
This is a 10-foot. This is a 10-foot paracord whip from the guy in Poland. This was $250.
Right. Okay.
Right. A 10-foot kangaroo leather whip today is $1,000 from somebody who makes them right.
Yeah.
You don't want to take a risk on somebody that doesn't have a reputation. So you'd either be paying like and to everybody in the chat making 50 Shades of Grey jokes.
Yeah,
there's loads. Sorry for the filth.
No, it's fine. I wouldn't dare. I'm used to it by now, Matt. Like this has been my whole life.
No,
I wouldn't dare anybody, because people that don't know about whips, they think every whip is a sex whip, and it's like, no, that's not the way it works.
Oh, is it? Oh,
this is something that you would go, oh yeah, no, there's no conventional way to use this.
No, there's no. Yeah.
Is there a technical word for using a whip? Is there?
Well, I think they call it whip cracking. Is
whip cracking?
Yeah.
It was this year that that video, wasn't it? It was early January.
Indiana Jones.
Because I was watching that and I just thought, oh, Michael's going to do a whip sequence at the end. It's like, it's not going to go. And I was like, oh my God, that is like 100% Indiana Jones. It was just like jaw dropping. If you've not seen it in the chat,
who come up with the idea to put the
that was
party
just
thing?
Me watching the thing, and
that was perfect. That was absolutely perfect.
So I put the sound effect over it.
That was perfect.
Oh, I wish we had the clip ready. And
even for a child's toy, that is an embarrassing thing to put out. It's
one of the best thing I saw this January, that sequence.
Yeah, I was wondering about that stream though, because you put in like, if we're going to look at it from a toy collector's point of view, those Indiana Jones 6-inch are for us basically. Mm-hmm. So why on the same panel are you showing little kids' toys as well? It didn't make any sense.
But little kids ain't going to buy those things, are they? They're not
so we still got out to buy these. So I was just like, this is strange.
Mm. Yeah, an 80-year-old man doing a film that no real child is. There's only going to be us older fans that are really going to see it. Aren't they?
I'm intrigued to see how he does. I'm watching 1923 at the moment, and
that's awesome.
Listen, the man is an icon to us, you know. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to say is not derogatory at all, but he's an 80, and you can tell he's now an 80-year-old man.
Yeah,
he's on his horse on 1923, and honestly, it's like he must have had about 5 nurses around him. Bless him. He's like,
it's on a really. It's really kind of, it's like, I love the man to death, and I'm not trying to be ageist. It's just like the verisimilitude isn't there for this level.
No, it's like your uncle dancing at a wedding. You still love him, but you're like kind of like, oh, please stop dancing. It's like that kind of thing. So I'm intrigued to see what they do with this movie, but you know, he's a nice and the thing is, it's sad in a way because we're all roughly the same age and we've grown up with Harrison Ford, you know, and so to see him, you know. Listen, they must have a good story. So, well, fingers crossed they do.
Yeah, because is all the clothing wrong in the new film? Because I know you're pretty good at the clothing, aren't you, Michael? With indie clothing, is it all the wrong types of stuff they've used, or
the hat and the jacket? The hat is actually, I think, back to the British maker. The only movie that didn't use that maker was the 4th film because the British maker Herbert Johnson had stopped actually doing bespoke hats for a while. And so they got a guy from Mississippi, of all places, who is a great hatter. I've got a hat of his from 5 years before that movie came out. I mean, it was great. So an indie fan did the hats for Indy 4. So we always joke that's the best part of the movie is the hat. And then for this one, Herbert Johnson is now doing the hat again.
All right.
But what's weird is the jacket looks correct. There are some rumblings that Disney has a shoe contract with some costume company, so the shoes aren't the same boots anymore. They're like lookalikes. But the weird part is that he no longer has the vertical pleats on his shirt. He used to have these. He always had these vertical kind of like swatches of fabric that ran down the center of his pockets on either side. They went all the way down the shirt. That made it an Indiana Jones shirt. Those are gone. So now it just looks like he's wearing like a generic Dickies kind of shirt, like he's just kind of whatever. And then the other thing is they've gotten rid of his gun belt, which is problematic for two reasons. One, obviously he's not going to have a gun in this movie. Two, where's his whip going to go? Well, they've decided they're just going to put his whip holder on a web military slide buckle belt, which is what holds his pants up. And I'm like, as somebody who, has hung whips off of things a lot, like your web belt, that's why you have an equipment belt, because your web belt can't, that's not a good idea. The last thing that's weird is the satchel is normally worn over the left hip. So it's right shoulder, left hip, right? Because the way he draws his whip is the same way a knight would draw his sword, right? So his gun is on the right, his whip is on the left, right?
That's why a double-breasted suit is done the same way as well, for that reason.
Yeah. And now they've decided, well, I assume because he doesn't have a gun anymore or something, they decided we're going to in the fourth movie, they did this thing where they had the bag strap outside the jacket. That was the first time that happened. Normally, he wore the bag under his shirt and then put the jacket over everything. Well, now it's like, not only are we going to do the Crystal Skull thing where the bag is outside the jacket, but we're now going to hang it off the right hip. So it's going to go left to right, but they didn't bother to rethread the strap to at least have the buckle still be in the front. They literally just said, wear it backwards. And they just ran with that. And
no one's going to know. No one's going to know. Father Michael.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was going to say, there's people out there that will dissect these outfits. So why do you think they've done it like that?
But I promise you, like, you might not notice it if it's in isolation, like on a magazine cover from this movie. But if you take an image of him from Raiders, ignoring his age, we're not talking about his age, we're talking about the clothes.
Yeah.
You take an image of him from Raiders and you take an image of him from this latest film and you actually have them side by side. It's like, wow, they've really gotten sloppy with the costume. The costume
Dollar Tree costume.
Yeah.
Because he's bound to have the same jacket and thing. It's something you keep.
But it's not even like they're trying to make it look like the same stuff aesthetically. It's just more like the costume isn't as well thought out. It's just kind of slapped together. And there are actually images of official Halloween costume versions of Indy from a few years ago, where it's like a model, like a kid standing there, like a 20-something adult model standing there in this chintzy outfit, and it looks like what he's wearing as far as the way everything is configured. Like it's like
by 5 Black series of that,
it is strong. It is.
Yeah.
So what are your major sort of worries and concerns about the new movie, or
my only concerns about the new film have to do with the fact that I don't think that first of all, I don't know if the Dial of Destiny is actually a historically based thing. So it's kind of like, is that made up? Like that could be, I could be wrong on that. And that could actually be tied to something real, whatever. But if it is tied to something real, if it's tied to anything like what the quest object was in the first Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movie, then wow, they've really gone below the barrel on this. The other thing is, I know James Mangold, the director, wanted to, in his own words, bring the look, feel, and style of this film back to Raiders. Right. And after I saw the trailer, I was like, and this is no blame on Mangold, okay? He's a great director. I loved Ford versus Ferrari. Logan's a very good film, right? The workflow that they do now, especially at Disney, to make a movie, makes it impossible to recreate that look, because they're doing most things now for these films in like green screen domes. Like there's
it looked like a video game to me. That's what the trailer looked like.
The train bit.
They've even said that since Indiana Jones 4, when I say they, I mean people who are not officially, they worked on the films, but they're not like in a press release. They're like given the story after the fact, right? Every time you see the whip in motion since Indiana Jones 4, the whip is real on his belt. It's real if he's just holding it. But once it starts moving, it's digital. And it's like...
Yeah, because I think when he's riding that horse at the end, that's his head just been plonked.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You think
it though? It looked dodgy.
That's the thing about the probably the first 3 Indiana Jones movies. The stunt work, it was getting the arc on the Nazi truck going underneath. I know it was a stunt double, but that was proper movie magic. That scene, I could watch that scene over and over again, and you just lose that with digital rendering.
I all agree. Crystal Skull just didn't.
Just
didn't happen. I like the beginning of Crystal Skull. I do like the build up.
I watched it over Christmas, and it was
when we go into the warehouse. I do like that. That's interesting.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I kind of enjoy. It's just a Jonesy.
Yeah, the swinging monkey bit. The swinging. That was
the best part of that whole movie was going seeing it with our site. I have never seen anyone so pissed off and
walk out
all the way through it. And then our site, he's a massive Raiders fan. It's his favorite movie. He loves it. So it was at the time we sat there and he's hearing all this stuff and he said, "Oh, I hope they don't mess this up. They can't mess up Indiana Jones." The cinema was packed. So I sat there and it was the start. You know, the start where it had the mountain and it always had the mountain. And then the gopher came out. Our side just, he didn't mean to do it, but he went, "Oh, for sake," like dead loud, and people were laughing.
Yeah, I think I did. I was like, "What are they doing?
How can they make Indiana Jones like this? It's not a novelty and all that." And he was furious. So that's my best thing about Kingdom Skull was our side's reaction to it.
Yeah.
You know. Well, let me ask you all a question. I mean, I'm a person. I've always said this about actors. You know, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill. It's the characters that I enjoy. You know, I read just as much as I watch the movies. I'm a big character fan. So to me, if they ever brought out like a new Star Wars movie with a new Han Luke Leia, I wouldn't be affected by that. Do you not think it would be the same for Indiana Jones? I mean, why does it? In a way, why does it have to be Harrison Ford? You know, they say no one else.
I don't think it does because we don't think it has. We don't think James Bond is sacrosanct. We don't think Robin Hood is sacrosanct. Zorro is sacrosanct.
Doctor Who, isn't it?
Doctor Who, Sherlock Holmes, Miss Marple, Lara Croft. None of them are sacrosanct. So why this one? Especially when you consider that he wasn't even the first actor chosen. They had chosen
Selleck.
It's really weird how they've decided that it has to be this way. I don't get it.
Yeah. And it always sounds like, from interviews with Harrison Ford, it always sounds like the studios have to really convince him maybe to do another one. Do you know what I mean? His sort of attitude is like, "Oh, here we go again. I've done Han Solo."
Like Blade Runner 2049, isn't it? He did it probably for the money, but
You asked a second. I'm putting in private chat a link for you, Matt. You said a second ago you were hoping to see that clip from the video. I've just given you a link to the clip. The clip.
All right.
Oh, the whip. Okay. Here we go.
All right.
Well, I was going to say while he's looking for that, it was the same as the Daniel Craig thing. I remember when Daniel Craig was announced as Bond and he was coming down the River Thames. Do you remember? And everyone was like, "What? He's blonde. Then he's in Casino World. Actually, he's not bad. This guy. If you make a good story, I think people tend to forget.
It was a solo story. It was I didn't mind. It wasn't Harrison Ford.
No.
Okay, I've got the clip lined up
here. Here we go.
All right, we got it. Okay, there we go. All right.
Oh yeah,
this is that's a lot of fun. Closely mimics an actual whip. It's very safe though.
Closely mimics an actual whip.
Don't mess with Michael French.
That's a whip.
That's like the Crocodile Dundee. That's a knife kind of thing.
You know what's funny? I didn't even realize I had done that, and then a bunch of people were like, "He pulled a Dundee on Hasbro," and I was like, "Oh, I did."
Yeah. So you ever like nicked yourself or anything doing that?
Oh yeah. For a long time, I had I have a cat scratch there, but for a long time, you can't see it anymore. I had a big scar right here where the whip kick. You can kind of see it where I'm sitting, but it's impossible to see on screen now. But for a long time, there was this big, wide scar here where the whip had come back and wrapped around my arm and hit me real hard. I've winged myself in the face and stuff and things like that over the years. But once you figured it out, like riding a bike, you tend not to have that happen much anymore. Like, because the basic moves are very there's really, unless you're doing trick cracking, which I don't do because I'm not at a rodeo. There's only like and that requires what's called a target whip, which has a really long handle. They're like for precision tricks. But like a traditional bullwhip like that, you've really only got like 5 or 6 moves that can then combine into sequences. So it's There's one move I still
be careful as well, Mike, as well, when people come around to your house and go, "Oh, can I have a go?" Do you have to say, "Well, hang on a minute"?
Well, yeah, I'd have to be like, "Look, you've got to have safety goggles, and you've got to have this, and then I have to sign an affidavit that you're not going to sue me if you hit yourself." And,
Let's have a go. The big scar dummy.
Well, I'll probably have one of those fencing masks or something. That'd handy. That'd probably be the best thing to use, I'm guessing. I know there is some sort of like thing you could wear, like a round helmet. I don't know, or something to protect yourself. So like the beekeeper's on a costume, but something.
Well, like Luke is saying, he's like, I'd take my lip off, and the secret. The secret to not hurting yourself as badly with a whip is to remember to never pull your arm back towards you in the middle of a move. In other words, whatever happens when you throw it, it's called a throw. Whatever happens when you throw, you just keep your arm out. Even if you don't succeed at the move, let the whip just fall to the ground, and you're not going to hurt yourself. You know?
I've got a super chat question here. This is from Connor. He's being funny, but I've got to show this is a question of my give. So put a gun to you. Would you support Everton? This is a joke at Shabby. So because Shabby's a big Everton supporter. So
you know,
Michael's a Man United fan or Liverpool.
We play his boys on Monday. We play him on Monday. So let's see if he does the same super chat next Friday.
Good old Connor. How to change it? Yeah, that's everything.
Going back to that, actually, you know, I like that. In I don't know whether Harrison Ford, because he's got the scar in Star Wars, but I always thought Harrison Ford that scar was maybe a Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, like
right. My understanding was in real life it was a car accident or something.
Yeah, I've read that now. But I like in when River Phoenix in the circus train and he whips the lion, it comes back and gets him on the chin, which does explain.
For people that know
later on in the film,
he's not using the whip right, and I'm glad that they made sure that he wasn't for the purposes of selling that, because he's doing it like a towel. Right, he's doing the towel whip thing, and it's like that's how you use a towel. You pop a towel, but that's not how a whip like that. What you do is you have to bring it way up, which he couldn't do in the boxcar. So instead, his other option, if he'd known how to use a whip, would be to do a forward throw, which is like throwing a spear. So it's like you throw the whip behind you, and then you go like this, and then you hold. So if he'd done that, he probably wouldn't have. But he didn't know how to use a whip, so he started doing the towel move, and he kicked his own ass. So,
Evening, Kevin. I
loved that scene of River Phoenix as Indiana Jones. I think he was brilliant. Can you imagine if he was alive? You never know. He could have played him again, couldn't he? I thought it was.
Yeah.
There's a few people that have played it, like the young Indiana Jones, and you know what I mean. But I don't know.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go back and watch the Indiana Jones Adventures again. It's a shame it's not on Disney Plus or something, isn't it? I don't know why.
I have these things. They're called DVDs, and they're really helpful because you don't have to worry about what's on a streaming service in order to have access.
When are we going to find this? Where am I going to find?
I just got to buy them all. I remember seeing them on video everywhere in the UK. People, you still see them at car boots.
I've got the whole thing. Yeah,
you see them at car boots still. People like trying to.
Also, Matt, Blues Brothers is available on DVD and Blu-ray.
You keep telling
me. I'm trying to get. Matt's never seen Blues. I'm trying to get him.
It's like how Laser Pants. It's like how Laser Pants on 3POA has never seen Ghostbusters.
What?
Yeah. It's a run-on
worse.
joke. He's never seen
worse
it.
than Blues Brothers.
I can't take the Mickey. There was loads of stuff I didn't see till last year. Aliens and all that sort of stuff.
Thing, Predator movies.
Yeah.
So, if question for Michael, have you seen? Is there a film you haven't seen that like everyone you think might have seen? Is there?
Oh gosh, a
lot of the
horror stuff that a lot of people have seen, I ended up not seeing until I married or started dating Melinda, because she's a big horror fan. So I finally saw, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff like that. I finally saw The Godfather because of her. I had seen now, in fairness, in my defense, I had seen the second one in its entirety, the Coppola TV cut, the chronological cut. I'd seen that, but I had never seen the original. So
I've seen the first one, but not the rest. So
I think I've only seen the second one. Third. I've never seen the first one. Sound of Music as well. I've never seen that.
What's the other one? Once Upon a Time in America with I've not seen that. I've got to watch that. It's on my list.
I'm trying to think of there are other major films I haven't seen that other people are like, really? But I'm having a hard time reminding myself what they are.
I guess Shabby's the same because you don't do horror either, do you, Shabby?
No, but I'll tell you what, there is one thing, Michael French, that I was very, very jealous of when you did your live stream on Escape to Victory. It's in my top 3 movies of all time. I absolutely love that film. I just, I love it. So you did a good job.
I can't stand football and I still like it. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you like the movie Escape to Victory, it is on Blu-ray officially through the Warner Brothers Archive Collection, and you can buy it now. I do not work for Warner Brothers.
It wasn't called Escape to Victory over here. It was called Victory, wasn't it? Is that
Victory,
right?
Yeah, right.
It's Escape to Victory. And Gav sent me a picture, and he's got the actual kits, the football kits on them. And I thought, that's awesome. I'm a massive fan of that film.
But
at the end, when they're all running out at the end, when they're all coming out of the stadium at the end, if you ever watched, and Si will confirm it, Si sent it to me, there's actually a guy in an Adidas tracksuit, a red Adidas tracksuit that runs out. So obviously, it's meant to be in the 40s, and these guys runs out Adidas tracksuit.
Well, I made sure, despite some ribbing from Master Son, I made sure that the thumbnail for that episode of War Stories said "Escape to Victory."
It's really
victory,
It's just great. It's a great film. Have you seen it, Tez? Escape to Victory?
Not for a long time. No, not for.
It's one of those films I have to watch at least once a year. I just love that film.
I don't think I've seen it since the 80s, or maybe it's been on TV. We used to rent it a lot on Betamax.
One film I keep saying. One film I keep saying about it, I've got to watch. I've not seen it. Is the original Turtles film. I've not seen it since.
Really?
I've not watched it again, like for a long time. It's got to be 20 something.
Yeah, I'm the same age you, Matt.
I went to see it once, and I've never, because I'm not a big.
Turtles fan, it's a good one.
But I keep saying I want to watch that original Turtles film again.
Yeah, it's that movie actually holds up really well because it while it borrows a little bit of the veneer of the cartoon, most of it is based on the 1984 comic continuity.
It's quite dark, isn't it?
Yeah. And so it kind of it's a nice hybrid of the two aesthetics, and it was accessible to children, but it was also accessible to adults, which is helpful.
So what made you come up with the man baby news thing? That was they're
great.
They're brilliant. They're funny.
Man-child news.
Man child, because Tez's son calls all us man babies. Man child.
There was so much. What happened was there was so much news going on, and still is, around movies and Hasbro and toy companies and licenses and this and that and video games and all that stuff. And I thought, I see all these YouTube channels trying to chase all, and I don't mean this in a negative way. They're trying to chase all this stuff. Like, in other words, have a video that reacts to this, have a video that reacts to this, that, whatever. And I thought, I've got too many toy features to do and retrospectives. If I started trying to chase every news peg, I would have to abandon all the stuff I've invested in. So I said, but I'd like to. People have been asking me for my reactions to some of this stuff, and I thought, I love the old time, world on the march, kind of thing. And so I thought, what if I just brought back the 1930s newsreel and just you know, I wouldn't go full black and white. I desaturated it, but I get, you know, I got the pops and scratches and the flickering, you know, and I thought, what if I just did all of that, but kind of as a newsreel catch up every month, like some of the weirdest or funniest pop culture stories. They get my reaction. Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Harry Enfield. Do you remember when he used to do it on his comedy sketches? You remember that?
Mr. Warner, hello. Yeah. It's bad editing. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
But I just thought that would be the best way to sum everything up, because you know, you do it between 2 and 4 minutes depending on how long, and you get to get all your zingers in there and you're out. You know, things that you otherwise wouldn't want to devote a whole video to talking about, you know?
Yeah, I guess it takes
you. It goes to show us not to take stuff too seriously. I've never watched them man-child news like he's taking the piss. It's like, don't take this seriously. It's meant to be
Matthew, the Airwolf is being updated on the Mars Industries Facebook page. The gentleman making them has already sent out the beta versions to the beta testers. So they're testing it and sending feedback back about, you know, this part's good, this part needs strengthening, all that kind of stuff. He's doing constant updates. He's letting everybody know. I'm one of the backers as well of the final. So if you follow the Facebook group for Mars Industries, you'll get updates on that.
Oh wow! Yeah, that was
amazing looking thing, isn't it?
I remember you showing us that off screen.
Yeah, off camera.
Look how big it is. Awesome.
I tell you what, the best thing I saw this week was, excuse me, Playmobil doing Magnum PI. You know,
are they?
Oh yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
All the characters. I'll send you pictures after this. I'll send you the pictures. It was at UK Toy Fair last weekend.
Oh, awesome.
They've even got Tom Selleck in his red Hawaiian. I've sent it to Pete straight away, Scoob, and said, "Look at this." So,
do you have the option of giving him normal hair or a cap?
It comes with the cap.
Okay.
So the cap's on it. So it's Detroit one, the D for Detroit one. That he had. So he's got the cap on. So I'm not sure that
okay.
I'll send them to Matt now. I
was about to do that. Yeah, they're great.
So I have to ask a question then, based on this news, because you've given me hope that I don't know I should have hope in. Okay, Shabby.
Yes, sir.
Given that they've done Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Knight Rider, A-Team, and I'm James Bond. This is key. They've now announced Magnum PI. Is there any chance that they will do the other famous Bond cars eventually?
Oh, can you imagine?
Lotus.
I want a Living Daylight Vantage so bad in Playmobil.
No, what we need is a Bandit Trans Am. That's what we need.
Right.
Oh, speaking of Bandit Trans Am, Oh.
I want a Lotus Esprit. Lotus Esprit from Spider-Man.
This is the burgundy one from For Your Eyes Only. As long as it's that.
Oh man, I would give it, even if they made them like Playmobil.com store only or something like that. Like maybe they didn't send them to retailers, but they sold them directly to you. I would give anything for, you know, the Lotus Esprit, the V8 Vantage from Living Daylights, you know, in Playmobil. Dude.
Yeah.
What else? The full guy truck, maybe, and the Dukes of Hazzard, because the wheels on that truck were
the Fall Guy truck,
Miami Vice car. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. I've got some pictures.
Faces Corvette. That'd be a nice one, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, the Corvette would be good. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Twitter. Here we go. It's the first Shabby.
Even a Volkswagen Herbie would be good, wouldn't it?
Yes.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, that's an instant buy.
How cool is that?
Man, that is. Melinda will steal that from me. Melinda will steal that from me. Oh, that is so cool. That's one of the things, you know, like I'm winding down my Hasbro because of the prices, and I'm at the end of my journey with a lot of those franchises with the characters and everything that they've offered.
Yeah.
But Playmobil is like taking the place of that. Like they're going strong.
If it wasn't for that DeLorean, like I said about 2 years ago, I'd never seen Playmobil anywhere. And I was walking past, and for some reason it was for $26 in Walmart. So I thought, you know what? I'll just get it. I remember my cousins having it. They had a hospital set when we were kids, and I loved it.
Right.
So I'll buy that. I tell you what, I would have spent. It was $26. I would have spent the $50 that they were asking for it. And ever since then, I bought the pop. I've just got the Haunted Mansion, the Scooby Doo one. It's huge for Christmas.
Yeah,
massive fan. But I'm a person that I don't like to get pissed off at. Oh, I'll forget. I'll just move on to another toy that I really enjoy, really like, and so.
That's what I do. That's what I do. I just move on. And I was you tell me, Shabby, if I have an illness. So I bought the Playmobil DeLorean, and I loved it. Like, it's the best DeLorean toy anybody's ever made. Is that one? And then I turned around, and they offered up the Part 2 hoverboard diorama.
Yeah.
And it came with a decal for the Part 2 license tag.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I went, well, Doc would never had it just in his hand, as they show in the set. You put it on the back of the car.
Yeah.
So I went back out and I bought another hoverboard set. I bought 2 more DeLoreans.
Yeah.
Then I bought the advent calendar for Part 3.
Yeah.
And I made, with the stickers and everything, I now have the Part 1 DeLorean, the Part 2 DeLorean, and the Part 3 DeLorean, all in Playmobil. I never have to switch out parts. And I know that means I'm broken, but I need some validation that was a good idea.
It's a great idea. I've got my second one coming to make, because you got the wheels with the advent calendar of the, and obviously the top of the
the big chip or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's mine. I've got a whole display. I've got everything Back to the Future for Playmobil up there, and I just love it. So no, you're not. Oh, you need to buy another one so you can have all different cars.
I have
Thanks, Cuba.
In fact, I'm gonna get it. So hold on.
Yeah, we all get our DeLoreans.
The Playmobil football set. That was ace, wasn't it? That was ace.
How cool was that? Yeah, it was.
That was
awesome.
That was ace. That was.
Yeah, I got mine.
I've only got the Ghostbusters one. Oh, that's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah. So had to get Mr. Fuse on it. That was the bit that was in that second kit, wasn't it? So
They should do the train, Doc's train, shouldn't they? That was
they should do the train.
You never know. It could be coming. Could be coming next. There was a thing on it in their catalogue where it had the DeLorean, and it was on the rails, and there was something pushing it, and obviously
I still haven't got the Knight Rider car yet. I still haven't got the Knight Rider car.
That's the only one I'm missing. That's the only one I'm missing. The Knight Rider car.
Just not seen it in Smiths. I just don't see it in Smiths. No Amazon.
Oh wow!
Well, that's good. Yeah, free. Yeah.
Oh, look at with the engine on the front of the third one.
Yeah, that was good.
And I love the fact that all 3 of them fit in the box for one of them. So like, so like this one has the white walls on it. It's got the chip on the front. Yeah. I put the decal from one of the sets on the back. Yeah. And then here's the Part 2 one with Mr. Fusion, which came with the set. It has the right license tag on the back. Yeah. It's got the thing. And then I've got, of course, my Part 1, which is, standard, and it's got the out of time on the back. Yeah.
I'll show you my, what is it? I'll show you my display.
Yeah, I love the Playmobil. I love the figures. Just great.
Yeah.
So if I turn it round and then get it properly.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So obviously it starts with all the, that was awesome. The actual, but then the Playmobil, it goes all the way across, all Back to the Future, and then obviously I've got the Bond car there.
Right. But you've also got. I saw you have the Ecto 1A.
Yeah, I've got them both.
Wow.
So there's the Ecto 1. And there's the Ecto 1A.
Lucky. I could never find the Ecto 1A.
So, yeah. And then the actual Mystery Machine is exactly the same mode as the 18 van. It's the same mode.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I do have the Enterprise.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot you had that. You just aced it. I do have the Enterprise.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing they've done, isn't it?
The Klingon ship as well, is that
Bird of Prey,
yeah, they came out with I was irritated because I was like,
not as good, is it?
Out a Klingon ship when you don't have an Enterprise that's correct to fight it. Like it's like I love the refit Enterprise from those films the most, and I would give anything for Playmobil to revisit and do another Enterprise as the refit. I'd buy it all over again, and then I'd feel like I could buy that Bird of Prey. But that Bird of Prey doesn't have as much cool interior interactivity as their other vehicles, and 2, it's now anachronistic next to the original series Enterprise. So it's like, why would I spring for it?
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing is, well, I can see Keith Knight in the. Did you ever see Keith Knight's custom Knight Rider trailer?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, that was good. Yeah, really good.
His stuff is so good. Keith Knight's customs are they're insanely good. Like,
I remember the spikes he made. He made the chip spikes, and I thought, oh, you can't beat that. And then ever since then, it's just gone.
What's next, Keith? What are you doing next?
He's doing the Italian job. I know he's doing the Italian job at the moment.
Italian job.
He's just done the van, hasn't he? Now he's onto the car. So wow, and it's just fun. This is what collecting is all about for me. I don't want to sit here all the time moaning. I'd rather enjoy it and spend your money wisely.
What a Mad Max car would be good, wouldn't it?
The Mad Max car.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like the Bandit. Dukes of Hazzard would be cool. That would be awesome. And also Face's Corvette from the 80s.
Yeah, Face's Corvette.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because cars like this to us lot, these are like spaceships to us. When you saw Corvettes and GMC trucks and Trans Ams, and we were like, we're used to Austin Maestros and Electros. So we loved it.
Can you imagine if they even did a smaller set that was just Street Hawk?
Oh, can you
just
yeah.
That'd be cool. I would love to have MacGyver's Jeep.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
All guys truck would be cool.
Oh, I've got a good one. I think someone mentioned before. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The Robert Reliant from Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah. I have the die cast of that. I have the.
I like them to do Condor Man's car, and that was good from the film.
Oh, I
Condor
have to with that.
That's a colourful car, isn't it?
The ramp that came
with a Porsche chasing it, so I get the old 911 turbo.
This is the thing. We could be talking for hours with cars we knew as kids, but what cars come out at the moment? There's not one really that made us go, "Oh, look at that."
I would love. You know what I would love, and if I find out Playmobil's actually done this in the past, I'm going to go spend a fortune to get it because I haven't completely learned everething Playmobil done in the past. Yeah. Oh yeah, the light cycle would be great.
Yeah. Good call.
If Playmobil ever did the 1977 Monte Carlo Lancia rally car winner, I would, and the rally team, I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Oh, you mean Wheeljack?
Yeah, that would be
Wheeljack. Yeah. Transform? Oh no, you can't do Transformers.
But Roger's shit, that'd be good. Redo that because that's near.
At the moment, they're doing Asterix and Obelix, but they're not.
Yeah, that's right.
Doing it in the States, so basically you have to pay the import tax to get them over here. Because I know, and that village set and the stuff. But don't worry, our size already turned around and said as soon as it comes in Smiths, he'll get it from me. He'll send it over. But it's a shame Asterix wasn't that big over here because. That would have been perfect.
That's why I've been disappointed that Playmobil has not done Indiana Jones because they have so many sets from the past that work with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
They've never done an official Indiana Jones set, and I'm like, wow, they would make. I would give anything for them to do that. Like, but they.
The detail they even did in the Back to the Future set, Marty's letter to Doc. And do you know what I mean? It's a little things that they did. Save the clock tower flyer, that kind of thing. That's
a cool one. Yeah, the Simon Templar. I guess Lego's doing Indiana Jones, aren't they? I think they're going to be doing
but they're only doing like a handful of sets, and a lot of them are like retreads from sets they did back in 2008. And they've retooled them a little bit. They've redesigned them, but it's like that line was never complete anyway. They did the flying wing, which is like their big feather in their cap, but they're not bringing that back out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I
What do we think about
keep saying Thunderbirds, playing big Thunderbirds?
Yeah, that'd be good. Thunderbird 2, I'd go for that one.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Oh, I got the Sinclair C5. Sinclair C5.
Okay, yeah, that's cheap. That's a little box.
I don't know why they wouldn't. I know they've done sort of like quasi-military stuff in the past, but I'm not sure. I guess no, that's more Lego that avoids that. But you know what I'd love to see? I would love to see Playmobil do a. I want to see him do Jonesy's Truck and the Dad's Army Group. from.
All right. Yeah. I'd love Dad's Army.
That would be good.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you can have a balloon, like the gas balloon on top when they go to
Yeah.
gas.
Or why haven't they done Doctor Who? Like, I would love to see them do Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Like Bessie.
Like,
and the TARDIS could open up and it'd be a place there.
It'd be cool, wouldn't it, if they pick up Star Wars? But it's not.
I think it's a line as well that I think I admire and I like it more as an adult. I think as a kid I would go, oh yeah, it's like that. But as an adult, I can really appreciate the little things like the detail. Everything
dude, that bank heist set that I did the video about. Oh my god, dude. I was like, this is one of the coolest toys and ballsiest toys anybody's ever made.
Yeah, bank heist for.
It's like not only just a bank robbery, but they went to the granular detail of saying, give her a screwdriver so she can break into the ATM, like the cash point. And it's like, who thinks of this? This is awesome.
Really thought that.
Yeah. That's why they give it a truck with him.
How to fun a bank heist?
And goes, you know what? An 18 van. Kids will love it. It's brilliant. Absolutely.
They know adults are buying these. They know there's adult collectors buying these.
That's the thing. The DB5. I mean, that Bond set that Jason.
That's a good one. Yeah, the '89 Batman would be a that'd be perfect.
Forever, couldn't you? Yeah.
I think Spin Masters are bringing out a load of stuff for the new Flash film, so I think they'll be covered with that. So,
talking about Batman, did you see the new McFarlane 66 stuff? The Wayne Manor they've done. They've done the set on the TV show, the Batbolt, the Speedboat. They've done a few of them, but that Wayne Manor looks awesome. It even comes with the telephone and the.
Does it connect to the other one? Could you put it above it?
I'm not sure because I've got mine set up there, and that's how I would do it, Matt. I'd put it above it. You could
have it on another shelf in your room, and then just put some holes in the shelf.
And these are all McFarlane.
McFarlane, the McFarlane's just done Wayne Manor, the office at Wayne Manor. Where the doors open and the two poles go down.
Yeah,
and they've done the Batboat, which is
chaos,
flawless. It looks really good.
Yeah, that would be a shame if you couldn't put it on top of the Batcave set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be like you could do it on a shelf. I'll just do a custom one, but because they are very. Say the bottom piece is only cardboard, isn't it? Whatever the spinny wheel and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a cardboard backdrop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we've got these pictures you sent me, Tez. These ones are Lee's. We'll get these in quickly.
I don't think
his play sets.
He is watching.
He was. Yeah, I'll share these. So.
I think he was in the chat. So he's nearly. Well, I saw him at Echo again.
Yeah, I saw him as well. I had a chat with him. He was very excited. So
he's lovely though, isn't he? Every time he comes on our show, he's lovely, isn't he?
Passionate.
There we go. There we go. So here's the boxes. They're all been finished. So
I've had one in my hand. They feel really, really nice. It says it's Palatoy on the front, and on the back it says Palitoy.
Toy. Yeah.
And
he says about a couple more weeks, and then these are going to be up for sale, right? Around £60 or something. Yeah.
Not at all. That's lower than what I thought. That's awesome.
If I find the, if I just drag up the other picture.
And he's got some sort of prototypes. Have you got them, Matt?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just deleted I just deleted Twitter, so I got to bring it back up again. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'll just ring Elon. Hold on. Matt's deleted Twitter.
Well, no, I just cleared it off. I've had to reload it up. Still, I don't do this very often. Yeah. Share. There we go. There's the actual playset that comes in the box. Yeah. Got that?
Yeah, there we go. That's the detention block.
Wow.
With the added tractor beam on the side.
Yeah. And then we've got what's the next one?
I think there's a Hoth one and a
the Hoth one. Yeah.
I think that's
I wish this thing was a lot quicker to do this. So, there we go. We got that?
There we go. Oh yeah, and that was the is it the next 17 guys who've done the small Hoffwampa?
He's done the baby Wampa and some other figures, hasn't he?
Baby Wampa, yeah. So that that's just nice. It's some way to put your Hoffwampa because there were you display it loosely on a shelf next to your Tauntaun. So I suppose you could put it, yeah.
And then we got the next one that the one that I really liked. I saw he had it there. I thought it'd be really, really handy for the land speeder.
Yeah, that's what I like. He's doing the Home One, briefing room as well.
Not bad at all.
Yeah,
you can lay your C-3PO damage there. You can take if you get the room
off,
yeah, and just he's got all these images from what do you call it? What was the stuff they used back then? Artist stuff. I'm trying to think of Star Wars stuff. You would get all the pictures in. Do you remember, Tez, what it was from?
What
we took the art?
The materials?
Yeah, the artwork. He's taken it off other.
Yes.
Was it something? Is it electric? Something like that?
Yes, it takes it from cereal like and he just manipulates them. He's taken some TIE fighters from the ZX Spectrum game, put it on like a display. But it's nice. You've got to think about all these vintage Star Wars figures that don't have a home. Like you could put Pruneface with your Imperial shuttle if you're lucky enough to have one. But like you would see him in the briefing room on Home One, and there's all these places to put vintage stuff.
Yeah, when we get some, I've seen the sets and they look really good. But I think good luck to him if he gets us going and makes all these different sets, because there's a lot of people out there want to put their vintage figures in their dioramas.
I think he's put the Cloud City playset, which was like the Palatoy Death Star, basically, or the Action Force playset. I think he's put that on the back burner because it is quite complicated, and to get his foot in the door with these early.
Start with them, exactly. Start with them. Let's start with you are. Hello, Mike. They're just on.
We've got a super chat here from Super Chat from. Jody. Hello, Jody. ZSR. When did Universe? Oh, I changed my name ages ago. So my YouTube. It's my fault. So I had to change my YouTube channel names. I wanted to change it. So we've had to change the USR to ZSR. So we were going to completely change the name, weren't we? So
when you go for your subscriptions, you have to go right down to
and they're blaming me for changing my name. It's all this, causing Tez all this work. Apologies.
That video, we were asking everybody what we should call ourselves, and after it, we just went, just change it to ZSRA.
Yeah, someone said what we're gonna call it? Games, toys, and gravy, wasn't it? That was
toys, games, and gravy. Yeah, that was
games. Yeah, that was gonna be the BO one. So oh, laser. Oh, here's Lee here.
Oh, there we go. Here we go, Lee.
Letraset. There we go. Yeah, Letraset. Sorry, Lee. That's it. Yeah. Sorry, Lee. So he's still here. So I've got your pictures in, Lee.
Let me ask you, Michael. So, congratulations, like we all said, on 100,000. How do you feel about this? I mean, are you like, wow, I've never thought this, or we've worked hard to get there? And so, does it astonish you that you've got to 100? I mean, 100,000 subscribers, my friend. That's a big deal.
It was. I was joking. I have some friends who live in Cornwall in Falmouth, and
Falmouth,
yeah. And my buddy Ben and his girlfriend, and I was joking with them online quite a while, like a few months before we even thought this was going to. We thought based on where we were and what the stats were on Social Blade, now we wouldn't have still been at 100,000. That Lego video doing what it did just was crazy. So I had joked with him for like a year that if we ever got to 100,000, whenever they sent that silver button or whatever it is, I would fly back to England. I would go to Falmouth. We would go to some cliff coastline on the coast of Cornwall, like around Tintagel or something. And we would refilm the ending of Force Awakens / opening of Last Jedi. And it would be his girl or his wife. It would be his wife looking through her bag and handing me the button. And then I would just look at it and then throw it off the cliff. And then because it's taken so long, to like, and so when we knew we weren't going to make it by the end of 2022, we were like, well, it's just another. And then all of a sudden it was like, not only are you going to make it, but Kismet has decided you're going to shoot right past that with this micro viral nothing video. And it was like, whoa. And so the next thing I knew, it was like, I joked, I was like, for a lot of YouTube channels, 100,000 is the most memorable day of their lives. For me, it was a Thursday. Like, because it went from an egregious Frodo climb inch by inch up the mountain to, oh, by the way, you're there and you've passed it. Oh, and you've lapped it and you've got, and I'm like, oh, well, that was anticlimactic.
I guess.
So
it kind of helps, actually. It kind of keeps you having it happen that way actually keeps you better off, as far as like, because once it happened and it was over, everything slowed down to a crawl again. So and so now it's like, I feel like that's kept me in my own authentic headspace, where it's like, it was just another blip in the algorithm. They come and go, and I'm just going to keep doing what I do. Like, I'm not going to change. I'm just going to,
I find that with, like, when I hit 1,000, it goes mad up to 1,000, then it just dies off again, and you struggle for a long time, and then it builds up again, and then hit 2,000. I'm hoping it'll just go mad again. It seems to be in like thousands. It's weird, but I don't know.
Find that the less I do, the more subscribers I get.
Yeah,
it's funny that.
If I don't put out a video for 2 weeks, my subscriber rate goes up. The moment I put out a video, people are reminded that they're subscribed to me and they unsub. And it's like, not as many. It's like, I gain 50 and then I put out something and people are like, oh yeah, I'm subscribed to that guy, and I lose 7. But it's, whatever.
What's this? Matt, what's that con going on in Bournemouth this week? Oh, there's what do you call it? Beachhead it's called, and it's all like Warhammer stuff. People play on tables and stuff. So there's that there. So Warhammer and tabletop gamers, they call it, don't they? So they have it at the big. So I always wonder, Michael, would you ever consider doing a video again like you used to do, when you take things apart and fix them and put them back together? Would you ever do one? Would you ever do one?
I've got one that's in the hopper.
All right.
This is so embarrassing to say. But I'm going to say it. You know why? Because I'm an honest channel and I fall on my sword. Damn it. So back in 2017, I know we're taking the Wayback Machine. Like, in 2017, a man named Stephen Maybe, who I haven't seen him around in a while. He probably lost all hope. He was a follower of the channel, and he said, I would like to donate something to your channel for restoration. I don't want it back. You can have it. I just want to see you do a restoration video on it. I said, great. What is it? He said, it's a G.I.joe Cobra Terror drone.
Oh.
And I went,
wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he sent it, and it is, as far as like the foundational bones, it is in gorgeous, like no broken clip, but it had missing parts. It had some things that had broken off a long time ago that were separate pieces that I had to go source. I sourced everything. I sourced all of it. But the big ring that sits on the top, that's sort of like a white creamy plastic, had yellow, which is not uncommon.
Yeah.
Well, those G.I.joe stickers or decals, they're that clear. They're clear, and then they have the image kind of printed on the clear shape, right? So the glue on a G.I.joe decal is like, it's like dried honey. Like it's not a paper sticker that just blows off and then you can wash off the surface. So there I am. I've disassembled the whole thing. Sadly, this was almost 2 years ago now. I finally got around it. I disassembled it like within a week of getting it. Then I put it aside and I was working on other stuff. Then I was reminded 2 years ago I needed to like do this. So I did. I got the disassembled pieces and I took the ring off. It was the first thing I was going to wash. Right. I took it upstairs to wash I picked all the stickers off of it, and then I was going to wash all the adhesive off, and I had to use lighter fluid and this and that. And I'm up in the bathtub in my upstairs bathroom. I'm on my 4th scrub down because that adhesive, you can move it around with the lighter fluid, but it doesn't quite get off the surface. Yeah. So I got a toothbrush and I'm scrubbing so hard that the toothbrush is like, weaving patterns in the gunk and everything. And I'm just like, so I put it down and I walked away from it and I said, I'm going to come back to it. That was at least 18 months ago. I feel bad. And I'm like, okay, so I need to really do this Terradrome because this poor guy probably thinks I blew him off. And he's been waiting 6 years. I am working on it.
Patient.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So when I finally do the first part of this restoration, it is going to be titled Board of the Ring. Because I am
Board of the Ring.
Because what has to happen is after I get it washed, I'm then going to have to put newspaper around all of the blue battlements. Yeah. Because then I have to coat the rest of it in a peroxide paste and wrap it in cling film and put it out in the sun. And I'm like, this is an all-day process. Like
that's another 2 years at least.
Yeah, right.
Our friend Jeff Barker's just restored one, and it came out awesome. So good old Jeff just done it, and it's brilliant.
I've got all the stickers from Cobra stickers ready to go. I've had them for years. And that's the other thing. Even after I get done with the ring, all those doors that close for the dome in the center, they're all separate pieces, right? So if they're already intact, you never want to remove them because you could either break a clip or a post, right? So you leave them. But they have those Cobra segmented stickers on them that are going to have to come off. So it's like, once I pull those off, how do I get rid of all the sticky residue? I'm going to have to scrub, which means I'm going to have to put something under all the doors for the downward pressure. The whole thing is, dude, I got a Defiant from somebody after that. And I decided to restore the Defiant first. And that's saying something. The Terradrome is deceptively like grueling to try and restore, like deceptive.
Just finding all the parts, I guess, is.
I've got all the panels, the parts. It's disgusting. Wow. I have all the parts. They're all vintage original because I got them before the prices went up because this was like 6 years ago. I got all the parts, and now I'm just like, I really need to do that. I guess I'll get around.
Oh, Gil's is here. Happy birthday, Gil's. It was Gil's birthday a few days ago.
Well, on that note, we've run out of time. So
this has been awesome again.
Let's keep going. No.
Yeah, we can go all night. Now, Shabby's probably got to have his tea soon.
26 minutes.
Tea time. What time is it for me, Matt? Yeah, 5:05.
Yeah,
10 o'clock. 10
yeah, but Michael's got to have his meal as well. So
yeah.
What for your tea, Michael?
I've got my Yorkshire upstairs, like ready to go. So
not PG.
Oh, I have a box of PG tips as well. Don't think I don't. Oh, I do.
I've got them both because our side swears blind by Yorkshire, but I'm a PG man. I always have.
Have you got a proper kettle?
We have we have a traditional one, but we also have like just the newer sort of like heat plate electronic one where you flip. Yeah. And then I also have this. It wasn't a very well known brand of tea over there, but a tea company over there 2 years ago did these Battle of Britain themed tea tins. They were like, and one of them had Spitfire on it. So we now transfer our tea bags to the Spitfire tin when because of the tea.
Makes it so more traditional.
Hi, George.
Well, George. Oh, I just want to say thank you, Michael, for coming on again. It's always great to chat to you.
Anytime.
We love chatting, just talking about whips and all sorts.
I got to get you guys back on retro blasting at some point. We got to.
Yeah, we'll do that definitely.
Yeah, because you guys were on a few months back, or maybe
iconic one. Is Iconicon happening again this year? Can we?
Well, I'm not on the planning committee, so I'm going to find out and see what they're saying. But even if Iconicon doesn't happen, probably it won't preclude or hinder collaborations going on between all of us all year. I would love to have you guys back on soon if we can, come up.
I'm looking forward to seeing you at Joe Fest. It'll be nice to finally meet you.
That'll be awesome. I can't wait. Wait. If only Ted and Matt were also there, but I know it's a haul. So.
I know. Yeah. Well, I'm planning to come over to America and stay with Shabby, so it's gonna happen.
I'm planning to come back to the UK. Hopefully, I'm hoping next year. So that I can start filming that Robin Hood stuff, but also meet a bunch of people. So
well, if you're down in Falmouth, it's only down the road. We can run up the Jacob's ladder.
Okay, all right. On that note, all right, everyone. Thanks everyone in the chat tonight. It's been awesome. Thanks, Michael, and we'll see you next week. Shabby's next.
My channel next week. So we'll see you on mine.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.